and welcome back to Fearful Harmony. Today we have another prolific game dev in the genre of scary Nintendo 64 games. I don't know why I said another. I don't think we've ever had a game dev like that. Anyways, game developer, creator of Shipwrecked 64, father of Bucky, we have Squeaks D'Corgeh?
Corgeh.
Squeaks D'Corgeh? Corgeh. Okay,
It's like
I
a
was
fancy
gonna.
pronunciation of corgi, but
Alright, I
yeah.
didn't want to say it that way in case it was wrong, but anyways, I got it right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So today you are announcing Shipwreck 65, is that correct?
Yeah, no, it got canceled earlier. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm
Yeah. I'm sorry,
I'm devastated.
this I have to find out, guys. I'm sorry. It's
Oh. Well, that wraps up this episode of Fearful Harmony. Thank you so much for watching. When we talk about Shipwreck 66 next. Have you ever heard that joke before? I feel like you have, where it's like, we're
at
Shipwreck
least a million
65.
times. Like,
Okay, I figured it, and that's why I wanted to say it, because I thought it'd be
yeah.
silly. I was like, there's no way he has not heard this like 100 times.
Yep.
But anyways, kind of getting into the thick of it. I was wondering, like, before Shipwreck 64 started, because I feel like,
Mhm.
well, I mean, obviously, I don't exactly know what your history was with game development, but before Shipwreck 64, like, took off, what kind of got you into game development? Were there any other projects you were working on before that you
Right.
uploaded
Okay.
online?
I have a weird history in that regard. So I started out in 2016, which, by the way, just to remind you, I am 19 right now. I was making games when I was like 10 years old.
Oh,
But I
God.
started out making FNAF fan games. A lot of them were terrible,
Of
just like
course.
frankly awful. In 2020, I put up a couple of my first experience with VR games. So I released a game called Polar Dread, which is like a VR FNAF fan game. It was like decently popular for the time. Um, what are you doing?
Let's turn my
Oh, yeah,
fan
the
off.
fan. Yeah,
Continue.
no, yeah. That's what I
it's
said.
it's
I'm
loud. I'd rather boil
yeah.
than
So
have my editor mess with my
yeah,
audio. Anyways, continue.
I made like a VR FNAF fan game somewhat, and then people seem to like that. And in the background, things like FNAF VHS and the Walton files are picking up. So I'm like, hey, I want to do something like that. I want to make like a analog horror project. And I started in the background with it was called Broadside Beach, and Shipwrecked is a part of it. Actually, it's like it was supposed to be an entry in the ARG before it just became like the whole damn thing at this point. But back then it was like some really awful analog horror videos that I was making for a long time. And then in 2022, I just stopped and redid it all from scratch with Shipwrecked, and that's kind of where we are now.
When did
So,
Shipwreck release? Was that early 2024? Like first
okay,
month or something like that?
it literally
Or
released January 1st of this year. Like,
okay, all right.
yeah, literally
Man, you
started the
whipped
year
that
off with
whole
this
thing
game.
off in like under 2 years. That's kind of crazy.
Okay, what is it? I had the concept for that game. Like, I first thought of it back in was it? I had the idea in 2020, just as like a
Okay.
scary N64 game. And then Broadside Beach started in 2021, so that's about like 3 years maybe of development time. So it,
Okay.
it took a while.
It's still kind of crazy. I remember
Yeah.
talking with it's sorry, I need to give context first. It's cool seeing like how far in advance some game developers have had for their games, especially people I've talked with. Like I talked with the creator of Kinito Pet Troy
Yeah.
earlier, like a little while back, and I can't remember exactly how long he'd had the plan for, but it was like years and years he'd
That's
like
usually how it
plays
is,
was
you know?
like,
It's
my
like,
God.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, you can always
crazy.
tell though, because like some of the stuff in it is so fleshed out, it is like genuinely scary. Like you can tell what took a long ass time.
Yeah, I
Mm.
could see that with Shipwreck definitely too, because there's, I say this in a good way. There's so much to it. Like there's
Yeah,
layers, and then
I
there's
think
like
like the average playthrough
secrets,
is about 10
and
hours. It is a long ass game.
I'm a couple hours in. Well, I think I'm like 4 or 5 hours in total.
Where do you ever leaving
But
off?
also
Was it like
some.
layer 3-ish or
Let me think. It was like a really dark area. It was after Bucky was like, "What are you doing? You can't be here." All right, let's do this. And then he grabbed the lantern, and then
Oh,
there was
okay,
like
you
some other rooms and stuff. And
right.
that's
Okay,
kind of
you
when I got
haven't
a little confused.
yeah, you
I'm
haven't met
not
the
in.
monsters yet. That's fair.
I know a little bit more. I've purposely avoided watching other YouTubers play it because I do want that blind playthrough still. I really do. But I
Yeah.
also just don't have the time to like sit down. And I won't lie, it's a hard game to get back into after not playing it for a while
Yeah, you
because
gotta
I'm
like
like,
relearn everything.
what happened? Yeah. Like I said, I was talking earlier. I tried to replay a little bit of it, like in prep for
Mhm.
this, and I got lost like within half an hour, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
what? uh, but no, I really like games where just like it's a crazy ass deep dive. There's secrets. Half the stuff I don't even understand what's going on. Probably don't
Mm-hmm.
understand until I get later into the game, which I'm not there yet. But I love that. I love that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I'm sure this is another question you get a lot. Behind like I can't talk. What were like the inspirations or like some of the main things that were the inspiration behind Shipwreck 64?
Okay.
Maybe like more
It,
game wise, because you were talking about like analog horror and stuff.
yeah, no.
But
So I think in terms of games, it's like a really crude mixture of it's like Abandoned by Disney, like the creepypasta, if you know that one.
oh
If
my
you were to, if
god,
you,
I
what
have
was it?
not heard
What?
that in a long time.
No, that's like the main inspiration for like the costumes and like the Disney-esque company that's like making the game. It's like you take that and you cross it over with in 2020. There's this big like iceberg chart of like Super Mario 64 is personalized. Here's everything that can happen
Oh
in it.
yeah.
That was like the main inspiration for a lot of the game, and I even added in like randomized elements that happen only some playthroughs, just to
Wait
like
a
kind of play into
second.
that. Yeah.
Mario 64. Shipwreck 64.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
I'm seeing a correlation here.
yeah. It's like is it?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
no,
crazy. I have to be the
I
first person to notice that.
no. What is it? It's like it's been a thing for a while because I really wanted to make a game themed after that like iceberg chart. 'Cause I remember being like fascinated by it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that's where this game came out of.
No, I was big into the Mario personalized stuff. I know my buddy Tom and my editor, both my editors know who Tom is as well. He kind of got me into it originally because he made a
Mhm.
video on it, and I was like, wait, this is like the kind of stuff I'm into. And then kind of leading from the personalized stuff, I really was fascinated. It was almost like a guilty pleasure. The anti-piracy like
Oh my
craze that
God,
started.
yeah, yeah.
I I have such like a love. It's like with a lot of creepypasta stuff. I can tell a lot of it's cheesy and kind of dumb at
Mhm.
times, but oh my god, like I still love it. It's like the same with the personalized stuff. Like really a giant Wario head is chasing you. Like that's the coolest and dumbest thing just ever, and I love
Yeah,
it. And I
it's like
love
absurd, but I like that kind of
yeah,
thing, you
all
know?
the different takes on it. Like I still haven't watched Mario. Wait, don't tell me. I know this. Classified? Is that it?
I
The
think
analog
I don't know.
horror. That's
I've
like the
never
most
watched that
popular
either.
one.
I've never
I
watched
know
it
about it.
unfortunately because I'm lazy, but yeah.
No, me too. But just like seeing all the different takes on the Mario personalized stuff is really interesting for me. And then
Yeah,
that
no, I
kind of
like it.
also with the anti-piracy, there's a lot of cool
Mhm.
takes. I really like the whole Mario Party thing because that was like just really impressive to see. You see a lot more of that mimicking. I should say I saw a lot more of people like mimicking old like 3D art styles like that, but like seeing someone make like DS models and stuff like that, making it look
Yeah,
like an
that
actual
is
DS game, that was
that is
mind
impressive.
blowing. It's crazy
That
to
is
say
so
that was
impressive.
over 3 years ago. That's insane.
Oh, I feel old now. Oh no.
You feel old.
Oh God.
But no, that's really cool. Now that you
Yeah.
said that, I'm kind of seeing the inspiration from like the personalized stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of like subtle things that most people don't catch on to. Like, it I'm not gonna go into detail what it means because I haven't beaten the game yet. But if you were to go out of bounds, in like the main hub world and just go directly onto the island, there's a massive beating heart just sitting there.
Oh.
Yeah, and then there's also things like there will be like 10 olives on an island out of bounds that just walk around perpetually. Or you'll enter like the hub world again. There's like a random squelching noise instead of the regular ambience. There's loops constantly. Like it fucks with you, and I love that kind of thing. You know.
No, that's cool, definitely.
Mhm.
How about the art style? Were there any games that maybe like directly besides like the general Nintendo 64
Yeah,
kind of?
I was like very inspired by Mario 64 specifically with how they did all the textures and stuff like that. People complain a lot that it doesn't look like N64 enough because it uses like Banjo or
Oh,
anything. But no,
okay.
it is just Mario. It's like you can tell these guys don't know what they're talking about because they just use Mario as their inspiration as if that wasn't literally the game I was using as like a style.
I think
So stupid.
I think I remember in my stream when I streamed the game, I remember like making a joke about those kind of people. I was like, this doesn't look like a Nintendo 64 game. It's like, dude,
So
use your
let people have
eyeballs.
fun, please. Yeah, no, this is so like in terms of like the style though, I tried to adapt my way of drawing things. I used to do a lot of like traditional art. I don't anymore because I kind of suck at it, but like I used to do like traditional art a lot. So I'm gonna throw this image in chat for instance. This is just like the Bucky model.
Bucky
I
model.
literally like drew something very similar to this on paper and then just kind of modeled over top of it, and I got this
Oh
out of it.
yeah,
So it is like
that's
very
cool.
akin to my drawing style.
Drawing like so you drew it like in that Nintendo 64 kind of 3D model and then
Not
adapted it
exactly,
into
but like
the.
as similar as it took to get like as like a toony look, and then I just tried
Yeah,
to model the top of it with the
I see
style,
that.
and I got that.
Founder, throw that up on screen right there. It's right there. And see
Yeah.
it.
Then what is it? The found footagey bits are kind of a different story aesthetically, just because like I even started something completely different for them. There's a YouTube series by now, which was really popular a couple years ago. It's called the Monument Mythos.
Oh
Biggest
yeah.
fucking inspiration. I love the editing of that series so much.
I
It is
like
crazy.
the Lincoln Memorial one where the person's like in there.
Oh my god,
That was cool.
yeah.
My friend was a
Yeah,
really big fan of that, and he like showed me that, and I was like,
yeah, what is it? There
"That's pretty
was
cool."
there's this one spin-off episode they did called the Nixon verse. I just pulled that up real quick, so if you hear that in my audio, that's probably why.
I'm
But
sorry, the Nixon verse, like the
I
U.S. president.
yes, yes. No, I couldn't even try to explain it if I wanted to. But they had this one episode called "The House in the Ocean," and it is so good. And it's like the main thing that inspired the aesthetics of this one because it's all edited in like Movie Maker, which is like a lot of what I try to do with my own editing style. It is so weird. It is so creepy, and I love every part of it. So that was like my main inspiration for the found footage stuff. That's also why I don't use like any VHS compression when making all the found footage bits. I rely a lot more on like JPEG compression and stuff like that, which I find it works a lot better for the aesthetic I'm going for.
Please tell me Richard Nixon actually makes an appearance in this. There's no
Well, no,
way he doesn't,
not only
right?
does he is literally God in this universe. If you need if you need that claim backed up, there's an episode called Nixon is God. So like if you chat.
Ed Dwight interviews Richard Nixon after gaining godlike powers. I'm just in shock. There's a Richard Nixon analog horror. I'm
Yeah,
watching this. I am watching this once this is done. Oh my god.
please.
I
No,
can't even
but
like laugh.
okay,
I'm
no,
just
listen,
like
you need to watch The House in the Ocean. That was like the main Shipwrecked inspiration with like the movie maker aesthetic. Because
this
I
is
use that a
incredible.
lot in the ARG stuff specifically. It is so well done.
That's
Yeah,
perfect because I was gonna ask about like the inspirations behind like the ARG elements. So that's
yeah.
good.
In terms of the aesthetics, mostly it's this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I haven't watched a lot of analog horror recently. I
Okay, I'm
rewatched
gonna,
Man in the Suit and prep for my interview with Unknowingly, but other
yeah.
than that,
I think the big problem is there's not much like innovation coming out of it nowadays. A lot of the time it's like, oh god,
yeah.
scary monster! Look at the scary monster's invading Earth, and it's like it's eating people. Ah,
There was
oh.
one I watched recently that was actually kind of good. It's a little older, but they did a new one recently, and it
What's it?
was
Okay,
called. It was like Fazbear Fun.
Fazbear Toddler Fun.
Fazbear.
Fuck, I love that one.
Yes.
No, is it? No, listen.
Yes, that was it.
I'm friends with the creator of that like project in particular, and they kept the fact that they're working on this for like away from me for 3 fucking years, and only found out afterwards like we're making a finale this whole time. I thought they moved on. They were literally posting out a new project they're doing, and then out of nowhere it comes back.
Yeah, I saw
How did
just
they
a,
do that?
I saw they uploaded a new one recently, and I was like, "Oh, what
It
is
was
this?" I don't know
so
what's in my
good,
recommended,
dude.
so I went back. It's like, "Oh, this looks like an analog horror channel." Go through it. I love that art style.
It's so
I
good,
am
dude.
a sucker for that like early Flash game 2000s website
Yeah,
aesthetic.
and then like
That's why
what
I
is
like
it?
the
Later
Ches
later
Kids
on they
aesthetic
have
a
like
lot, but
yeah, no, Ches Kids. That's also like another example. But what is it? My favorite thing about Fazbear Toddler Fun in specific is like midway through they start using a lot more like 3D art, if that makes
yeah,
sense. But like they base it off of like Scott's old way of modeling things. Like a lot of it looks like older Scott
I
videos.
didn't even notice that. Oh my god, I
Yeah,
just thought
no,
about that.
it is so fucking cool. I love it.
That's funny that they hid it from you for 3 years.
I had no idea. Like we literally have a we have a Discord like server somewhere, which is like me and other horror creators, and he's in there. He's one of them, and he left that Fazbear Toddler Fun channel dormant since it has like been created. Nothing has been posted, and then out of nowhere, this guy comes back and just, hey man, hey finale.
That's
We have a
crazy.
finale now. Enjoy. And I had no idea.
The only thing I really hear about analog horror nowadays is when something controversial happens. Like
Oh yeah, brilliant.
there was a SpongeBob one recently that
I know what you're
yeah,
talking
do you
about.
know what I'm talking
See
about?
you in hell, Stephen Hillenburg. Like,
Dude, that's crazy to say.
why would they do
I
that?
there was another one which I actually brought up towards the end of the video and people got mad at me and maybe I didn't do my research properly. I'll be honest. But there was one where it was like Sonic the Hedgehog as a PETA representative, and it was weirdly racist. And I was like, okay, I don't like this. And I made a little joke about it at the end of my video. And everyone's like, actually, they're showing that racism is bad. I was like,
Like,
you could have done it a little better.
you still had to write that in there. Like,
There was like just like a 10-second, 20-second tangent of Sonic just being racist towards Asian people. I was like, is this art? I'm confused. But, it really does suck that all I see now in discussion at analog horror, except for Phasma Fun, because like I said, I just kind of stumbled upon that, is people like saying negative things towards it, because there is still a lot of potential in it, and there is so much good stuff in there, but just man,
it's a very good genre if you use it properly. Just most people don't, which kind of sucks.
The number one issue I've definitely seen is handling sensitive topics poorly.
Yeah.
And there's a certain series, which I don't want to talk about, that a lot of people point to about handling sensitive topics poorly. You may know what I'm referring to, like the biggest.
But just maybe you should buy a T-shirt from it.
Be careful about what you're talking about, you know, and handle it with the care it deserves. Don't tell Steven Hillenburg to go to hell. It's not that hard. People murder people in horror all the time. That's so different though. That's one thing to have like a generic serial killer in like a horror movie, and then go off on a tangent, like a very strangely long and racist tangent through your character. It's almost like you're trying to live through your character, and it's weird. I'm sure that's not the intention, but like, anyways, let's move away from racism and dead people. Shipwrecked. So actually, I was wondering, during the development, were there any parts you kind of wish, I mean, obviously you could just update the game, but throughout the development of Shipwreck, are there any things you wish you kind of like done differently or changed?
Okay, the only thing I wish I did is I wish I explained the enemy AI a bit better, because you haven't gotten to the enemies. Like, they are fucking vicious. Like,
I got to the one at like the very beginning that chases you in the forest.
Oh my god, no, hang on, I need to find a clip of
He wasn't very vicious, but
no, I need to find a clip of one of the actual threats, because they're fucking nasty. All right, I found 2 of them. I'm gonna send both of them because they're fucking nasty.
All right, live reaction, Fonder. I've started watching the first clip now. Let's see this. Okay, it's jumping around. What is that? Why is it on like the? Oh my god! It's like on the right side of the screen. What? That was cool. Damn, I gotta play this game again, don't I?
Yeah. And the second one is fucking crazy to like build itself out of assets and stuff.
That's cool. All right, I'm watching the second one now. Here we go. Why are you just standing there? Run! Oh my god. There was a part earlier in the game where the character's like on the right side of the screen in the black.
I was so proud of that effect. That took so long.
That was such like a cool scare. I loved that.
Yeah, no, that does happen a bit more often, but like, it's mostly done with Olive. Olive Otter in particular does that a lot. So
maybe that's what I remember, but
yeah, because it happens in a section with the cabin, right? Like, you're in the cabin with the tape player and the projector.
So it's been yes. That was it. Okay. I still remember during the stream when I killed Olive as a joke, and then you were in my chat, you're like, I'll do that a couple more times. I was like, okay, let's see what happens. I did, and then I got jump scared. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
My favorite part, and I think I've talked about this on this podcast before specifically, Shipwreck is one of the only games in the past couple years, horror games, to actually genuinely scare me and catch me off guard. Besides getting jump scared by Phantom Foxy and FNAF VR like a year or two ago, and I was just like, holy shit, that got me. It was the partner in Shipwreck with the crow.
And, oh my god, yeah, Giovanni Goose, right?
Down, yeah. Oh, yeah. Goose. I don't know why I wrote down crow. And you're like setting all the ovens off and letting them burn. It was like the whole thing where it's like you go through all the characters and just like fail 3 times and something happens. And then I failed the 3 times and then nothing was happening. And then I can't remember what happened. It was like frozen or something. And I was like, no, it wouldn't let me back into the door.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
You couldn't talk to him anymore. His interaction.
Yeah, I couldn't talk to him anymore. I kept spamming it and I was like walking away and nothing was happening. I was like, okay. Like, it was just enough time to make me be like, all right, nothing's wrong with this. And then the slamming, like, against the wall happens.
Yeah,
and
that
I,
was
like, flung back and hit my hand on my mic stand. I was like,
oh my
oh my
God, dude.
God, that genuinely
Yeah,
got
no,
me.
so, was it, the reason it's like that is because back in earlier versions of the game, it would cut to black and then immediately show that clip and then come back to gameplay. And people got so used to it from testing, like, no, what, fuck it, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change the position and make them mad at me. And I did. And it happened, and it scared all of them without fail. It was
Yeah.
so funny.
That was crazy. That
Yeah,
caught me so off guard. It was just enough time to make me be like, all right, it's not gonna try to fake me out. It's like broken. It's
and then
that
I
was
lied to
crazy.
you. Yeah.
Exactly. You can get spoilery here if you want for me and anyone in the audience if you don't want to hear this. But what do you think your personal favorite part of the game is? Whether it be a character or an interaction or a scare
Okay,
or something. Something
so
that
I
sticks with
think
you.
what is it? I think my favorite part of the entire game would be layers 3 and 4, where the enemies are first introduced, because they're fucking nasty. But like, was the way it changes the gameplay style is absurd. Because now you have to listen for the sound of them spawning in, because they only stay in there for like 2 minute intervals at a time. When they're in there, you have to be on your highest alert because they are fucking with you in every way imaginable. Olive will show up on the sidebars. Giovanni can hear tape players. Walter can break barrels that you hide in. So if you're hiding away from him, he'll walk up to you and like smash it open. It is nasty. And
That
they all
sounds
make
so
you
cool.
they make you change your entire play style for that entire section until you actually get out. It is so cool. I am
I'm revisiting it. I gotta figure out whatever I'm at. I
yeah.
remember like some hilly area. I think it was like one of the
Oh, that
last
was like
things.
it was in like layer 2, right? It's like the
I think it's layer 3.
oh, okay. Hilly?
It's the
Oh wait, no,
dark
it's like
area.
yeah, no, it has like the computer in the middle, right? No, it takes you to the Stumber website.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
I'll figure it out. Don't you worry. I'll get back to you. I'll probably
Yeah.
like DM you on Discord or something like, what the hell just happened? Like a screenshot. I don't know. But yeah,
Okay.
no. Definitely, I like this game. It is very, as someone who plays a ton of horror, you become desensitized to it, and there's just so many new ideas within it that I
Mhm.
appreciate. And I'm always a sucker for the fourth wall break, so seeing a lot of that stuff is great. Like I
Yeah.
said, the sidebar. Oh
Yeah, I
my
was proud of
god.
that. I could never figure out what the hell Troy's doing. Cause like, oh my God.
Um,
I I don't know how
it's
he does
like
like half of that. Like I spoke to him a while ago and she's like, yeah, I just use like basic Godot stuff and I looked up documentation. What the hell are you talking about? I don't know how he
did he
did any
tell
of
you
it.
about one of his scrapped ideas he had for the game?
No, no,
Or did
tell
you
me, tell
listen
me.
to the I don't know if you did you listen to his interview
I don't think I
earlier?
have. I
Okay,
don't think,
that's
please,
good.
please
That's
tell
good.
me.
So,
Please.
one of his scrapped ideas that he did not go through with because he thought it was too far and kind of rightfully so is he was saying that like Windows can do so much. Like you could do so much, but a lot of it teeters kind of like on illegal. He was gonna have a part of the game that like, because apparently you could like get a picture of where someone's at based on location, like through Google Maps or something like that. He was gonna have a part where your house appears like on the screen, but very obviously he was like, all right, yeah, that's too
Oh
far.
no! Oh,
That's
what the hell?
crazy.
Oh my
That would be
God!
that might make streaming the game a little more difficult, but
Just a little.
but yeah, no, I think it's just saying like obviously that's a
Oh my
little too
God!
far, but that is crazy. I
Oh
still
my God!
remember yeah. I still remember playing that game for the first time and I had my VPN on and I knew it asked for your address because all of like the clickbaity videos I had seen were like this
Oh, it
game
doxed me.
steals
It
your
doxed me.
doxes you, you know. Uh but it got through my VPN somehow and like actually showed my like dorm address and I was like, "Oh,
Oh, oh no.
okay." I mean, to be fair, my VPN kind of sucks, but like maybe it didn't have it on properly. I don't know. If I ever seen that, I was like, "Oh," like I knew that was gonna happen, but
That's
damn.
fucking scary. Oh my God.
But no, that's crazy. That game takes it to like a whole new level. I genuinely can't think of any mainstream games that do stuff like that. I can think of
No,
a
it's
lot
like
of creepypasta games that take it too far, but not like
it was. I
that.
remember. It reminds me of was it? There's one FNF mod on where it shuts your computer down if you
Oh,
fail.
No More Innocence? I know that now
Yeah,
because my comment section got not mad, but they were
dude,
upset I didn't know the name of the mod.
it's
So
so fucking funny. I'm sorry.
No, you're
Dude,
good. Is it the one where like spams a bunch of pictures on your desktop after you die and then
no,
crashes?
it just shuts your computer down. Like someone was
Oh,
playing it. They had recording footage. They were playing it and they died and it just shut the computer off. It just went black.
I've talked so many times about how I feel about a lot of that stuff, but I think one of the one games I saw did it was in. Do you know what EXE games are,
I've
perchance?
I've been compared to them so many times. I know them by heart
Really?
now. No, I hear about it all the
Compared?
time. Like, yeah, I get compared to it all the
I don't
time.
s- I don't see it at
It,
all,
it happens a lot.
honestly.
What is it? Someone literally said at one point, like, "Oh, this game is just like missing kids and like analog horror and scary mask. It might just supposed to be like an EXE game at this point, guys."
Have we forgotten what EXE game? Have you played any EXE games before? Like analog horror, sure, but like an EXE game is like not the furthest, but like I'm sorry, I just think that's a really dumb thing to say. No offense to whoever said that, but like
It's like
what?
missing kids. Is that like a staple of
I would
EXE games
compare
now?
it to
Like,
FNAF before I compare it to like Sonic.exe. What are you talking about? Anyways, there's one EXE game. Uses AI art. That's a whole other thing I have a problem with. But it blue screens your computer. Which like
what?
okay. It warns you ahead of time. Like, which is good. But the issue with that is okay, why are you able to blue screen my computer and it has zero relevance to the game whatsoever? They just do it at the end to like be scary or something. I don't know. And two, where is the cutoff line? Like, where are we gonna be like, okay, this game blue screens our computer. This next one like deletes your fucking system files or something, and it's scary Sonic. Oh, make sure you use a virtual machine though. And then like 20,000 dumb kids are like, oh my god, I'm gonna run this on dad's computer, and then boop, it's all gone. I've
Dude.
talked about it a million times. I don't want to get into depth because I've had this conversation so many times, but like, there's gotta be a cutoff at some
No,
point.
there's gotta be like you can't
Kanito
just keep
Pet does
fucking
it
doing that.
perfectly.
You are making malware and putting Sonic on it.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. And the worst, I hate it when it has no point being there. Games like
I
Kanito
know.
Pet, like literally any good fourth wall breaking horror game you've played has a point to have the stuff in. But
like
then
what is it? In my case, it's like there's like actual like interference with the game itself. Cause like, and it's like they're showing up on the sidebar. That's not like doxing you or anything.
Exactly.
It's like all of a sudden just show up and like pull a picture of your house and like, hey man, how's it going?
yeah,
I'm coming here by the way. I'm on my way.
it's just an issue with the kind of creepypasta games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen as much recently. Then again, I haven't really played a lot of the newer ones, but it's definitely been a bit of an issue. But
Yeah.
anyways, speaking of games and video games that exist
like those
or
things.
maybe don't exist yet, you were actually wanted to talk about a project you were working on.
Okay, yeah,
HI, you can
so-
see in the corner of your little
Yeah.
camera there.
I wonder if that's like
HI09.
yeah. So what is it? That's not so much a game. It kind of is, but it's also a site. Let me pull this
okay.
shit up on screen share. Actually, hang on. Yeah, no. So there already is a site, but there's some parts of it that aren't fully accessible yet. It's I'm taking the ARG shit to a new level basically by making a site with a game embedded into it that functions. It just has all the ARG shit, but like built into it, kind of.
That's crazy. How did you get that to work in a website?
Yeah. So what is it? I'm using a custom version of Unreal to do this because they removed the ability to do HTML in Unreal years ago. So I might like mod it back in. It works pretty well, I think. Yeah, so there's like, it's just like in Shipwrecked. Wow.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, no, that looks sick.
Yeah.
So, what are kind of like the plans for this website, though?
So the goal of it is to like expand on what we already know about Shipwrecked and like add more depth to these characters that I haven't really been able to yet, and use a lot of like really unique mechanics to get that done. Yes, what is it? There are some cool features here. Like if you go over here.
Ooh, it's very fancy.
Hello. If you're
Yeah, so the game itself can redirect you to different pages through the site.
Oh, nice.
And
All right.
relies on this camera mechanic.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a zoom in. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
But you're gonna notice as well, by the way, the what is it? The time shown on the Polaroid is the actual computer time that we're set to right now. Because what is it? Certain aspects of the game actually do rely on the time of day you're playing at, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's like some.
But, like-
you ever play I'm Scared before?
I have, dude. It's so fucking
That's
good.
kind of what I think of. I'm
Yeah.
Scared is one of my favorite horror games of all time,
Mhm.
hands down.
Yeah, no, it's this place is just a waiting room. The actual game itself isn't available yet fully.
Yeah.
I'm gonna type in a very cool secret link, which if you're recording this, just like blur it out or something. Yeah, no, the idea of this is just like there's gonna be like a full-on campaign built into it, which I did figure out save data recently. Thank God for that. The entire idea is it's like almost like a side story that kind of extends what's happening in Shipwrecked, provides more
That
enlightenment
looks
to
like
certain aspects of.
Shipwrecked.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, kind of expands more on the actual like game world itself and the real world behind it. It also has a new protagonist he plays in this game who's fully mute, which is kind of funny. And he does this really. You can see he's like sprinting right now, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want the player to be able to abuse sprinting, so I added a really funny mechanic.
You can bump into thing.
Yeah. I don't play this to like abuse the sprinting, and God forbid you're being chased by an enemy, try to run downstairs.
You can fall. Wait, hold on. This is amazing.
Look.
Oh my! Please keep that
It's
in.
so fucking.
Please
I
keep
will.
that
It's
in.
fucking funny.
Oh, thank God! That is hilarious. This looks amazing, though. I'm so.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not
you got a
fully
little
finished.
buddy on the desk
Yeah.
there. That actually reminds me. I just got this little guy the other day
Huh?
in the mail.
Oh my dude.
Little Fred Bear. I love this guy.
You look so funny.
Yeah, that's just what the eyes reminded me of.
Yeah. You can use the scroll to check under the desk. Yeah, no, it's
Oh.
pretty early on still, but it's kind of cool, I guess.
Exclusive Fearful Harmony, like the 12 people who get this far. You get some exclusive footage. I'm very excited. This looks
Yeah,
really
same
cool.
here.
And it's
Yeah, no,
actually really impressive to put this on the browser. I'm
No,
looking
the entire thing is I want to make it because I was really inspired back in the day. Like I used to really enjoy like Flash games and stuff like that. Huge sucker for those. I'm trying to recreate the same thing of like coming across a weird game online that you can't really find a justification for.
Yeah,
That's kind of what this is.
but maybe not a release date, but maybe you have any dates planned in the future for like when you're gonna have more info about this.
I plan to get this out by the end of the year if possible, but I don't
Oh,
make any,
okay.
like, guarantees
Damn,
of that. Yeah.
You
I
heard
should mention
her.
about the-
Guaranteed. He'll cut off both of his thumbs if it's not out by the end of the year.
Oh fuck! I should mention that
He'll do
is the game salmon on the TV, by the way.
The Stumbler cosplay. Oh wait, what?
Yeah, I got the game salmon to voice that.
Oh, the gaming
Also-
sound? I know that guy.
Also, fuck, did you just bring up Stumbler? Dude, that is so funny. I have voiced Stumbler in like 3 other characters. It is so funny.
I would say, like, if it doesn't come out by then, you can do a Stumbler cosplay.
Oh shit! No, don't do that! My actual thumbs down.
Oh my God, Stumbler's here. Stumbler, what do you have to say?
Subscribe to Toad Bup, I guess.
Let's go, Stumbler,
Yeah.
Stumbler. I heard recently that you actually don't support the use of the vaccine. Is this true?
I have no stance on either side. I've never used it.
Stumbler's an anti-vaxxer? Let's kid. Let's kid. What do you think his arm's still
He needs to be skinned alive.
So, with all my guests here, I always love to ask a what-if question of who would win in a fight. And I have customly crafted one for you that I feel like I might get an interesting answer here. So, who do you think would win in a fight? Bucky after he washes up on the shore, like right after, or 10 stumblers, but they don't have any legs either? Who's taking it?
I mean, like, probably Bucky. He's an attack function right at the gate. What are the stumblers gonna do? Like,
They can roll towards it. Use like their teeth and like crawl forward. I don't know.
that is an insane question. Oh my god. We here at Fearful Hamony, we ask the real questions, dude.
We do ask the real questions here, the ones everyone's dying to know the answers
really
to.
I don't fucking know. Probably Bucky if I had to guess. Like,
What's Bucky's like? Well, you had to like power scale him. Like how strong is he?
I don't know. He's like he has an attack
Power
function.
scalers, comment down below how strong Bucky is.
Yeah, we did talk about his feats and his anti-feats
His
and all that
feats.
shit.
I think
Yeah.
he's at least multi-universal durability.
Okay, I would not go that far.
Attack
I would-
potency, probably omniversal, you know. I don't know. Anyways, before we wrap up here, I really can't talk today. Do you have any advice for anybody who wants to get into game development, or maybe even people who want to incorporate the more like secrets and like ARG elements that you do in your game?
Okay, First of all, this is very important. Test stuff repeatedly. I swear to God, the amount of times I made puzzles and I had to remove them because people had no idea what the hell I was talking about. That happens so frequently. Please test it. I beg of you. Like I don't know if you guys saw it. Was it Catastrophe Crow that came out a little while ago as well?
I've heard
Like
about
they
it,
they
yeah.
they released like a fully finished game recently after the ARG thing for like a while. The puzzles are like incomprehensible. I'm gonna be so fair with you. Like, what was it? One of them is like you have to arrive in a certain map at exactly 9:13 in the afternoon, and then you have to go to a certain room and like do something there. There is also one where you have to navigate in the desert with a really dense fog with like no audio cues, and if you go too far off, it resets you to the start of the game.
Ooh.
Um,
To the start of the game? God damn.
yeah, no, it's like you're just stuck in the hub world
It's
and
kind
going
of
to different.
ruthless.
It's like a lot of it. You have no idea how supposed to do it. Like there's one point where you have to collect 128 coins, right? Which, not that bad. But like, bear in mind, if you just go back out of the level, you lose all of your coins. You have to find a way to do it without resetting the level. Like that's like,
Sounds very unforgiving.
yeah, no, please test your stuff. I beg. That is like the most important thing ever. Like, even I had some like really bad puzzle design at first, which I ended up patching some out eventually. But like, test your stuff. That's the most important thing. And in terms of like just general game developers outside of like the ARG stuff, just like please try to experiment with stuff. It's like we get so many games nowadays that come out where it's like the same thing over and over again. And again, I would know this. I was in the FNAF fan game community for a long time now, and people would pump out the same game with a slightly different color of paint several times a year, and a lot of them would like go completely unnoticed. There just isn't enough unique about them.
Yeah.
Please, for the love of God, just like experiment with stuff you think is cool. That is like the main thing. Shipwrecked was literally just a combination of random stuff I made that I thought was cool, and
I
people
was
ended
an
up enjoying it.
I was
Like,
an EXE fan in like the mid 2010s. Trust me, I know when games are
oh
the same
no,
coat of paint. Experiment.
yeah, no, yeah, no, please do. Like, God, the amount of times I've seen the same game pumped out over and over again, and it's like even if it doesn't work, like you could make a game that is received terribly and it has like a lot of things wrong with it, but like at least you put something out there that is like unique to you instead of trying to be someone else's style as hardly as possible. It's like that's why I see it. It's like even if it doesn't do well, you at least tried something that hasn't really been done all that much. Um, yeah, just experiment as much as humanly possible.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Uh, but anyways, that about wraps up this episode of Fearful Harmony. If people want to find you, where can they look?
Okay, so I have a YouTube channel and I have Shipwrecked 64 itself is on Steam as well, which you can go check out. I have a Twitter. I would not advise looking at it. It is just complete brain rot with like 5% teasers. So
That sounds great. I don't know what you're talking about.
okay, no, like on my Twitter, if you scroll down, you see Mr. Beast Spampton as the first thing that I retweeted since my post, like my pinned
Mr.
tweet.
Beast,
Okay,
what?
Mr. Beast as Spampton. Okay,
I
and then you
I think I saw that earlier today. Was
no,
that
and then
you?
you probably and you scroll slightly further, you see this image. Like
Wait, what's it?
if you look in general chat, that's all it is. That is just my entire Twitter. So I do not recommend it. If you want to subject
It
yourself
looked
to
like
that, then
that.
sure, it is available.
And then his Twitter is where he's gonna be announcing that I'm voicing Bucky from here on out as well.
Yeah,
Here's
no,
a little
you're
sneak
taking
peek.
my place.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's me, Bucky. How's it going? All
Yeah,
right,
as
that's
a
just a little taste.
yeah, as a trade off, I'm voicing Toad Bup in all your videos from now on. So.
Voicing Toad Bop. Yeah, Toad Bop's just a fictional character.
Yeah, no, hey guys, we're talking about like fucking like Shindo.exe. Like, what's a fucking random word I can talk about? Like
What?
was it corndog.exe, guys.